What do you do when the life you've built crumbles in a single sentence? I stood frozen in the hallway, the words I'd overheard slicing through me like a blade. My wife, Emily, was on the phone in our bedroom, her voice low but clear, unaware that I'd come home early from the hardware store. "I don't know who the father is," she'd said, her tone sharp with frustration, "but my husband's too dumb to notice." The world tilted. My heart pounded in my chest, a dull roar drowning out everything else. Our daughter, Lily, was 2 years old, with my brown eyes, or so I thought. Now, doubt gnawed at me, unraveling everything I believed about my family, my marriage, my life. I'm Jack Turner, a high school history teacher in a small town outside Denver. I'm not a complicated man. I love my wife, my daughter, and the quiet life we've carved out in our modest two-story home. Emily and I met in college, two kids with big dreams and bigger hearts. She was studying art history, her laugh bright enough to light up a room. We married young, built a life together, and when Lily was born, I thought we'd reached the peak of happiness. Sure, things weren't perfect. Emily had been distant lately, buried in her freelance graphic design work, but I chalked it up to stress. I never imagined betrayal. That night, I didn't confront her. I couldn't. The words looped in my mind, each repetition tightening the knot in my gut. Instead, I slipped out to the garage, pretending I'd just gotten home, and buried myself in fixing a broken shelf. My hand shook as I hammered nails, my mind racing. Who was she talking to? Was Lily not mine? And the worst part, did she really think I was too dumb to notice? I'd always prided myself on being observant, on knowing Emily better than anyone. Had I missed the signs? The next morning, I watched Emily closely. She moved through our routine with her usual grace, pouring cereal for Lily, kissing her forehead, smiling at me over coffee. But her smile didn't reach her eyes. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but I held back. I needed proof. I needed to understand. So I started paying attention, really paying attention. Her phone was always locked now, something I'd never noticed before. She'd leave the room to take calls, her voice hushed. Once, I saw her slip a small notebook into her purse, its pages filled with hurried handwriting. I didn't dare look at it. Not yet. Days turned into weeks, and the suspicion ate at me. I started losing sleep, my dreams haunted by faceless men and Lily's innocent laughter. I couldn't focus at work. My students noticed, asking if I was okay. I wasn't. Then, one afternoon, a twist came that shifted everything. I was at the local coffee shop, grading papers, when a stranger approached me. He was older, maybe in his late 50s, with graying hair and a kind but weathered face. "You're Jack Turner, right?" he asked, sitting down uninvited. I nodded, wary. "I'm Tom," he said, his voice low. "I knew your wife's father." I froze. Emily's father had died when she was a teenager, a car accident that left her and her mother devastated. She rarely spoke of him, and I'd never pressed. Tom leaned forward, his eyes intense. "There's something you need to know about Emily," he said. "She's been digging into her dad's past. It's not my place to say more, but be careful. She's not who you think she is." Before I could ask questions, he left, leaving me with a business card for a private investigator named Clara Holt. That encounter flipped my perspective. Was Emily's secret about her father, not Lily? I couldn't shake Tom's warning, but I didn't trust him either. I decided to follow the only lead I had, Clara Holt. Her office was a cramped space above a bookstore, walls lined with old case files. Clara was a no-nonsense woman in her 40s, with sharp eyes and a smoker's rasp. I told her everything: the overheard conversation, my doubts about Lily, Tom's cryptic words. She listened without judgment, then agreed to look into Emily's recent activities. "Give me a week," she said, "but brace yourself. Truth's rarely gentle." While Clara worked, I tried to act normal at home. I played with Lily, her tiny hands clutching mine as we built block towers. I looked for myself in her features me nose. My chin but doubt clouded everything. Emily, meanwhile, seemed distracted, her phone buzzing constantly. One night, I caught her crying in the kitchen, staring at that notebook. When I asked what was wrong, she brushed it off, saying it was a client deadline. But I saw the lie in her eyes. Clara called me 6 days later. "Meet me at the park," she said. When I arrived, she handed me a thin folder. "Your wife's been meeting with a man named Daniel Reese," she said. "He's a lawyer specializing in estate disputes. She's been digging into her father's old business, dealing something about a hidden trust fund. But there's more." She hesitated, then dropped the bomb. "Daniel's also a DNA specialist." Emily ordered a paternity test for Lily. Results came back last week. "You're not the father." The world spun. I stumbled to a bench, the folder slipping from my hands. Clara sat beside me, her voice softer now. "There's no evidence of an affair," she said. "Emily's been visiting a fertility clinic. She used a donor before you two were married. She never told you." I felt sick, betrayed not by infidelity, but by secrecy. Why hadn't she trusted me? And what about her father's past? Clara had found records suggesting Emily's dad had been involved in shady deals, leaving behind debts and enemies. Emily was chasing answers, maybe to protect Lily, maybe to reclaim something lost. I went home that night with a choice to make. Confronting Emily could break us, but silence was killing me. I waited until Lily was asleep, then sat her down. "I heard you," I said, my voice shaking. "On the phone. About Lily's father." Her face went pale, eyes wide with panic. "Jack," she started, but I held up a hand. "I know about the donor. And your dad. Why didn't you tell me?" Tears spilled down her cheeks. She explained everything. Her fear that I wouldn't accept a child that wasn't biologically mine, her discovery of her father's hidden debts, her worry that his enemies might come for Lily. The notebook was her record of names, dates, threats. "I said you were too dumb to notice because I was scared," she sobbed. "I didn't want you to know how deep this mess goes. I thought I could handle it alone." I wanted to be angry, but her pain was real. She'd carried this burden to protect me, to protect Lily. We talked until dawn, laying bare every secret. It wasn't easy. Trust was bruised, maybe broken, but I saw the woman I loved beneath the Liesa woman fighting for her family. We decided to face the truth together. Lily was ours, no matter her DNA, and we'd confront whatever shadows her father's past held. Months later, we're still rebuilding. Emily's working with a lawyer not Daniel to settle her father's debts. I'm learning to let go of the hurt, to see Lily smile as enough. Sometimes I catch Emily watching me, her eyes soft with gratitude. We're not perfect, but we're honest now. And in the quiet moments, when Lily laughs or Emily squeezes my hand, I know one thing. Love isn't about blood. It's about choosing each other every day, even when the truth cuts deep.